What if I told you that weakness is a gift waiting for you to unwrap it? By the end of this video, I will share 5 gifts with you that weakness is willing to offer you. Thank you to my friends who shared their stories and their thoughts on weakness with me this week. These 5 gifts that I've compilated are from you. These are stories and ideas that you've shared with me that I thought I would give back to the whole audience. So without further ado, let's unwrap our gifts of weakness. So the first letter of each of these gifts forms an acronym, and you can see if you can guess the word by the time we get to the end of the video. So the first letter up is S for self-preservation. So a few years ago, I injured my knee playing basketball, and I was weak in my knee area. I couldn't walk normally. So that weakness was a signal that I needed to adjust my behavior to meet that need, right? And that meant taking time away from certain exercises, physical therapy. That meant getting medical support. That weakness was a signal to preserve myself, to survive, to allow me to be able to thrive in the future. It can be as simple as knowing you're not supposed to walk into a busy street because you're too weak to take the hit from a car. Or it can be as subtle as that drained feeling you get when you're getting overworked, and it can lead to that feeling of burnout and stress. So weakness can sometimes be a signal to help you preserve yourself, to self-care. Next one is going to be, another S. This S is for strengths, right? My friend Jessie, she was telling me about Pokemon, which I used to love when I was a kid. And certain Pokemon have strengths and weaknesses, right? Let's go with the one everybody knows, Pikachu, right? Pikachu's strength is electricity. That means Pikachu is really strong in arenas where there's going to be a lot of flying Pokemon or a lot of like water Pokemon, but Pikachu is really weak in situations where there's a lot of ground or earth Pokemon. And with this information, you're not going to put that Pikachu in situations where it won't thrive or where it's going to get hurt, right? You're going to put it in the right environment to support itself. So the same thing is true with humans. For example, you may not be great at social situations, but you're incredibly great in solo situations like writing, coding, or the reverse can be true. You glow in a social situation and you really get drained by these isolated situations. Either way, if you take note of where you shine and where you feel weak, you can put yourself in these positions to really show off your strengths. Now, sometimes weaknesses are more permanent traits, and sometimes they're just opportunities for the third one, which is growth. Weakness, I said, can be a bit of a compass, right? It can be a compass that points you towards unexplored territories of your potential. If I'm at the gym and I can barely lift certain weights, I've got 2 options. I can throw my hands in the air and be really upset about it, or I can see where I'm at as a starting point to develop new strengths. This applies to any area of your life that you're feeling weak in, whether it's relationships, finances, health, work, or even a more nuanced skill like empathy, which is actually, coincidentally, the 4th one. It can be very hard to understand what another person is feeling if you've never felt that way before. And experiencing weakness or feelings of powerlessness can allow you to more deeply understand what someone who is in a position of weakness is going through. This becomes really important, in my opinion, when people are getting access to a lot of power. People who get access to a ton of power without having ever experienced the feelings of being weak have no empathy, and they can be very careless with their power. They can carelessly hurt people with that power because they have no idea of what it actually feels like not to have that power. So sometimes feeling weakness can be a gift that allows you to relate to other humans. It keeps you humble, keeps you connected to humanity. And I actually got a quote that I think is really wonderful that my friend Jamal sent me. It's a biblical quote. I'm not devoutly Christian, but I thought this quote was really juicy, so I'm going to share it with you. Therefore, in order to keep me from being conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." It keeps going, it's better. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. These are bars, right? So I really love that. Thank you, Jamal, for sharing that with me. And that brings me to my fifth gift, the final gift. You're going to see all the letters now so you can figure out what it's going to spell. Union is the fifth gift that weakness has to offer. So in many of my messages, there was a recurring theme of vulnerability. While I'm not sure if weakness and vulnerability are exactly the same thing, I think they stem from the same family tree. And the gift of sharing your vulnerabilities with people is that it opens the door for intimacy and for connection and for deeper union in that relationship. So for example, if you're thinking about dating someone, you're gonna have to make yourself vulnerable, available to being hurt, rejected, and the possibility of seeming weak in some shape or form in order to have a chance at dating that person. Or if you want to marry someone, you have to make yourself vulnerable by proposing. By sharing vulnerabilities and weaknesses, we open the door to greater union and deeper relationships and trust. Another more platonic example that a friend shared with me was, imagine you're on a ski trip and you're not any good at skiing, but your friends are all really great at skiing. This would be really easy for me because I'm terrible at snow sports, but you have to acknowledge that you're weak in the area of skiing and share that with your friends in order to open the door for them to unite with you and share their strengths of skiing with you and help get you up to speed and get you up to par. So the weakness is an opportunity for a deeper connection, a deeper union with those friends. What's cool about this is you're actually giving your friends a gift by sharing your weakness with them, because you're giving them the opportunity to feel strong. You're giving them the opportunity to open up and express a part of themselves where they get to feel powerful in that relationship. If you haven't figured out the anagram, it is, let's see if I can even make this work on this reverse camera. Guess. Thank you guys for sharing all your thoughts with me on weakness. I felt honored to be able to receive all that support when I was feeling weak myself and being able to understand what the gifts of weakness are. Maybe we'll do this again sometime soon. Until then, take care and enjoy those gifts. All right? Bye-bye.